Hi, I'm Frankfurtter. That's Magically Average. This is Baka&Co. Let's talk about anime. That's our new intro. We're taking things in a new direction. It's going to be a bit more free form of a podcast than it is going to be about news. It's going to be a hell of a lot more chaotic, and we are going to be slinging a shit ton of more shit at each other. So let's hop directly into it. Magically Average, you wanted to talk about something. What's your topic that you want to talk about?
Let's talk about how the anime community either overreacts or underreacts to the umpteenth degree. There's no middle ground with
I don't even think that there's
anime
even
fans.
like an underreact. I think it's just like overreacts.
No, there's an underreact. There's
Really?
an underreact. Let me explain.
All right, you explain, and we'll get into it.
All right, so Chainsaw Man.
Okay.
Popular opinion amongst the show and amongst our friends and amongst most of the anime community is that good's first season. All right. Even for those who didn't watch or didn't read the manga, right? Still a good first season. Mappa showed it's got top tier animation. The writing's still good. The characters are interesting, unique, like very diverse. And the world is fucking brutal, even though it's technically like a futuristic-ish Japan. Right?
Okay.
It's fun. Fucking Japan hated it.
Like all of it? Like all of Japan? Or just
Majority of Japan.
Really?
Yes.
Where are you
I've
getting
been
this
seeing
source from?
articles online, Twitter. Now, granted, this is not the best way to gauge anything by any means, but
No.
as
Twitter's
we've talked
just
about
a
in the past,
storm of fucking shit.
well, not Twitter as a news source, but as
Okay.
we've talked about in the past, Japan is like they normally buy a lot of the Blu-rays that come out for anime. Speaking for North America, I mean, we by no means, I don't think, sell the most amount of Blu-rays, partly because Blu-rays are, spoiler alert, kind of dying out because of streaming services. Now, there is a collectability about it, which is, I think, primarily why most of the sales in Japan are the way they are. But you would think Chainsaw Man, being the hype sensation of 2022, would sell a lot of Blu-rays. Wrong! Fucking wrong, Dumbo. Not the case. You know how many Blu-rays that Chainsaw Man sold as of last week? So I'm not telling you.
I saw the numbers like earlier this
You
week. It was
cheating
like
whore.
It was like 16 or 1800 or something
It was
like that.
1735.
Oh, it was close. Yeah, and
1735.
Bochi like outsold him by like the umpteenth degree.
By a bajillion. So for comparison,
it was like 60,000, something like that.
it was 16,000. Yeah. Bocchi the Rock and Licorice Recoil sold over 16,000 and 23,000 copies respectively during their Volume 1 first week release. Chainsaw Man even underperformed The Eminence in Shadow, which sold over 3,000 copies. Like there's
show. I watched like the first episode, and apparently the first episode has like next to nothing to do with that show, so I dropped it like a hot potato.
Yeah, I kept seeing a lot of people be like, "Oh, it's pretty good actually," and I was like, "Meh, it doesn't look anything too special." But apparently, it was more special than Chainsaw Man, according to Blu-ray fans and Blu-ray collectors across Japan, because yeah, almost doubled the sales of Chainsaw Man. I also read online though that there's this kind of overall sentiment from anime watchers in Japan that Mappa, like, I'm gonna butcher the quote, but it was basically like Mappa almost made it too realistic. Like it wasn't anime. It
and
was
yet
like
everybody clamors for like the fucking live action series that they do for every goddamn anime that does successful, like marginally successful. Oh, let's have a live action adaptation and a stage play. It's just like, so you're gonna go see the live action shit, but this is your anime. It's just way too realistic.
Yeah,
that makes no fucking sense.
It doesn't make any sense to me either. But like I'm reading through this article online too. It says fans have pointed out the possible reason is that the show's more realistic style did not resonate well with Japanese viewers. To support this claim, some pointed out that Mappa rented a huge venue for an upcoming stage event, with tickets being prioritized for Blu-ray buyers because of low sales. That doesn't paint a good picture for Japanese interest in the series. It goes on to talk about how basically like because the director was already sort of on people's shit list, that Japanese watchers just already didn't fuck with it because they didn't like the director. So there's also that aspect, I guess. There was a lot to go into this whole sort of animosity towards Chainsaw Man's first season. Now, on the flip side, what I've been hearing domestically in the United States is that people didn't like it because it just wasn't good, which I find very strange. Now, I'm going to take a strong stance in this case, in which I will say, if you are an anime only watcher, it makes sense. Okay, the first season might have felt kind of lackluster given the amount of hype and just overall like just strength behind the first season that everyone was pushing. Like, this is going to be the next best thing. This is going to top every single anime, this and that. So I get it. If you're an anime only watcher, I understand, because boy oh boy did manga readers want to spoil the fuck out of that show for you all before the episode 1 even dropped. Okay, so I get it. Right? Its first season might not have been that great. For manga readers, you best not say anything bad about it except for maybe the CG, which Mappa showed that there's not even CG in it. It's all like actual animation. Like, there's no CGI.
Wait, in
like
they showed in Chainsaw Man?
For some of the fight scenes. When Denji turns into Chainsaw Man, he's CGI. Yeah, but it's not like the CGI, like
not all of it is 100% CGI, but
right.
like a majority of it is, but there are some parts of it where they're kind of zoomed out where it's 2D, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't matter.
But like, just, you can't say like, oh, the story was bad, or oh, fucking the characters were dull. I'm like, if you read it, it is almost to a T what the first, 4.5, 5 volumes were of Chainsaw Man. So I don't understand what the complaint is. I don't get it.
7 out of 10, not enough power feet.
There you go. Yeah, not enough just grippers on the screen constantly.
Yeah,
that's my one complaint.
Grippers.
Yeah. So, yeah. This is my overreaction piece, that because people in Japan, or the Blu-ray sales are down, there's this whole vibe of like, nope, Chainsaw Man first season sucked. Domestically, it's like Chainsaw Man was lackluster. Now it's evolving into, will there even be a second season of Chainsaw Man?
I'm pretty sure it got announced that it was going to have a second season. It got confirmed.
I would be surprised if they didn't confirm the 6th season for chapters that have not even been thought up by Tatsuki Fujimoto. Like, it's astounding how people go from one extreme to another of like, this is going to be literally the best thing ever created by man, to I hope to God another one doesn't spawn out from that shit pile that is season 1. Like, that's the extremes we're dealing with here. And it just blows my mind. It blows my mind. Now, this brings me to my second point, which is the underreaction. And I'm going to be talking about our most favoritist of anime of all time, Attack on Titan.
Fuck off. I don't want to talk about Attack on Titan.
I do, because I don't think people understand what's going on with Attack on Titan. So I went back because I had to refresh myself of where we're at in the show. All right. And I also had to remind myself just how long of a gap there was between each season. Okay. So first part of season 4, the final season, first part was winter 2020. Right. Okay. Second part of Attack on Titan final season part 2 was winter 2022. Now, mind you, winter 2022 means January 2022 to March 2022. So this is a year ago that it came out. Okay.
I'm following.
We have Attack on Titan, the final season, part 3, or part 1 of part 2, or whatever the fuck they're naming it.
Attack on Titan, the final season, final part 1.
Yes. That's March of this year.
March 3rd.
Yes, so we're less than a month away.
Oh,
the second part of whatever the part is of the parts to the half to the sequel comes out at some point. Hopefully, I think they're aiming towards end of year, so it might be winter 2023, so January 2023, which would almost be a year after this next part, but whatever. I want to remind fans out there, you diehard fans that are just you're just gripping the toilet seat, shitting your brains out, just in anticipation. Your anxiety's through the roof. You just can't wait. Like, it's got to happen tomorrow. I want to remind you people, just how much source material is left. You ready for this? You ready?
This many. Oh, that was
9.
One off. That was one off.
There's 9 chapters left. You have 132, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. I can't count. It's 8.
Haha,
Right.
I got it right. Fuck you.
Not the counting stream.
Suck
There's
my butt.
8 chapters left. There's 8 chapters left.
Which is usually about 3 episodes of TV.
How are like
usually?
And I've heard no peeps about this. I've heard nothing. And it's funny. I'm going through an article that was written like after
Please don't tell
season
me it's
4.
Comicbook.com or CBR.
No.
Okay,
No.
Those are, in my opinion, my least favorite sites when
Yeah, no, I don't
anime.
go those. I'm only going to this one because I wanted to make sure I got the amount of chapters right. But I also love the fact that I'm going through tweets and seeing people's reactions like post season 4 part 2 before like what was going to happen next was announced, that it's going to be 2 more parts, and seeing what people were saying. My favorite tweet of all time. So do we know yet how they're going to wrap up Attack on Titan? Since as I understood, if there's no way they can do it in just one more episode, a long final episode, a movie, final season part 3, LMAO. Joke's on you, shitstain. It's not just part 3, it's part 4 as well. It's crazy how people Attack on Titan fans, and I hold nothing back against you people, okay? Because you guys blow my mind with how goldfish brained you are. Like, the moment that something's released, it's clamoring. It's like, oh my god, it's finally happening. The greatest thing ever created. The next best anime to finally just wrap up the storybooks on how great it finally is finally coming out again. And then you go, yeah, but aren't there like, only a handful of chapters left? And they just turn their brain off for the split second. And then they reply by going, but it's the greatest thing ever made. They'll find a way to make it great. And it's like, yeah, but okay, so reason with me here. If they had to go through 87 episodes, right, to cover 131 chapters, how are they going to fit, roughly, assuming that they're equal parts 12 episode seasons, 8 chapters into 24 episodes? Turn brain off. They'll just make it great. I know they'll do it. There's no reaction from them. It's just, hooray, it's coming out. It's going to be awesome. It's finally ending. It's not any sort of criticism or skepticism towards what's going to happen.
There's just no fundamental thoughts behind why.
Exactly. And that's what blows my mind, is that we have the people on the Chainsaw Man side that can take obscure reasonings, and it's fine if they believe that it's not good. Like, I'm not judging them. I thought it was good. I thought it followed the manga to a T. If people believe differently, totally fine. But if you say anything bad about Attack on Titan, the fans just shut you down and tell you you're dumb and you're stupid, even if you give critical thought behind what you're saying.
They're just smoking the copium. I mean, they had 3 great seasons of TV. I mean, you can argue 2.5.
Season 2 is not good.
You could say
season 2 is not good.
Season 2.5 seasons of great TV, because all of season 4 is just complete copium at this point, in my opinion. Because again, we've talked about this at length, and I understand what you're trying to get at with the underwhelming of like critical thought between Attack on Titan and the critical thought that goes into Chainsaw Man. I think the fact that Chainsaw Man had established itself already and had the 2.5 seasons of really good TV, and then they fucking flubbed the first part, that people are smoking a little bit of the copium. Because, like, let's be honest, what was it, the fucking last episode of Attack on Titan season 4 part 2, where they were at the fucking dock and they had to put a bullet in old friends? You can't look at me with a straight fucking face unless you are goddamn diehard sucking each other's dicks off for this show. You can't tell me you knew exactly who that fucking person was when they appeared on screen. I had no fucking clue who this person was. And Armin's like, do I really need to put a bullet in you? We're friends. It's like, you were? When you were 8 years old? in the fucking diapers together or some
you
shit?
don't-
Like
you don't
we
remember-
we haven't seen you in 3 seasons. What's going on here? Who
You don't
gives a fuck
remember-
about your face?
It was
And
their
they're j- it's
second.
just-
It was the second camping episode out of the 27 other camping episodes they've had.
I don't understand how people could be like, oh my god, this is like peak TV, this is peak. It's just like, who the fuck is this person? Why are there 2 different fucking like political parties, but inside each political party there's like 4 political parties, so there's like a whole total of what? 2 times 2 times 4 is 8, 16 no, that's not right.
Yeah, no, math's is hard. We don't do math on this show.
It's
We've already
8
determined that
political
with my
parties.
counting
Yeah,
ability.
math is
Yeah.
shit. Fuck math. Anywho, math is important. The 8 political parties. It's like you're gonna tell me that you remember every single character that belongs to every single political party that's on everybody's side, and then they mesh together, and then you're like, oh, they meet and they're kind of friendly, but they're not friendly. They want to kill each other. No, fuck that. That is lazy ass fucking writing. You got confused and you're like, well, I guess they can like each other for a bit, and that's why I understand that you're like, oh, there's no critical thought behind this. I agree that people are just fucking smoking copium on this one, and it pisses me off, and this is why I don't like talking about Attack on Titan. I told you at the beginning of this, I don't want to talk about Attack on Titan. I get fired up when we talk about Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan could suck my left nut, at least for season 4. First 3 seasons, I personally really enjoyed. It was simple, it was to the point, and then season 4 happened. It started out pretty strong, and then it just fucking tanked downhill real fucking quick. Like goddamn Armin in his giant ass Titan form just rolling down a goddamn hill. Like it was just bad. It was just bad. And I don't understand how people I get why people are over analyzing season 1 of Chainsaw Man, because there is a lot to nitpick about a season 1 of a show. A season 1 of a show can really kill or make a show thrive. Like, we never got a bunch of shows that were, did pretty well, better than, most other shows. Like, we never got a season 2 of an entertaining show to me, but, like, I know a lot of people probably are just like, oh, this is mid, it's fine, it's whatever. It's like, to me, this was like an intro to anime, like, rom-com anime or slice-of-life anime. Masamune Kun's Revenge. It's getting a season 2 after, what, almost a decade? Because they're pretty much like scratching the bottom of the barrel, I feel like, of shows that they can adapt. But it's just like, that is getting a season 2 almost a decade later, but you're going to tell me that fucking Farming with My Skill 300 years in the future is just deserves a season 2 or some bullshit like that?
Oh, you forgot about the best one to get a season 2 almost
Overlord
immediately.
seasons 2, 3, and 4? Yeah, you're right, because fuck Overlord as well. Overlord is just fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Without any of the interesting bits.
Anyway, I was talking about the fan favorite and the show favorite, Tomodachi Game.
Fuck off with that show. That show is absolute dog water.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, to what you were getting at before about just
the lack of... Season 1 can really make or break a fucking show.
No, I mean, that's totally true. I think the issue that I have the most, though, with Attack on Titan is that people refuse to look at it holistically. And the one comment I hear the most about, and people just salivate over this writing. They're like, oh my gosh, the author thought everything. The author was playing fucking 4D chess while we were playing tic-tac-toe. Like, that's just how big brain this dude is. I'm like, well, okay, first of all, yes, the author is very creative. I cannot deny him there. But you do know that the author is the one writing it and can dictate exactly how things are going to play out, because, he has the fucking ability to do so because he's writing it. Okay? So he wants one thing to happen, then he goes, oh, maybe in the future that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, he can make that happen. All right? Now, he had the forethought to think through a lot of the different characters, where they're, like, basically their placement within the world, how they grow, all the events that take place. I get that. Story building piece is cool. But you can't tell me that starting each and every season at a different point in time with different fucking characters, having different fucking things go on is good writing, just to then go, oh, well, he's connecting this piece with this. Yeah, because he had to fucking crutch each season by starting it in God knows where. The beginning of season 4 starts with a war between factions that we've never heard of up until that point in time.
Yep.
Episode 62 or whatever the fuck episode it might just be 60, starts at a point in which we don't know what's going on, where it's going on, and who it's going on with. And people are like, well, that's just because they're building in the larger story. It's the bigger picture. Fuck off. You can do that throughout a season. I've seen it happen. I've watched anime that have a fuck ton of seasons. Looking at you, Bleach, with all your filler seasons, so you can suck too. Like it
To note, the
baffles
filler
me.
seasons can suck, not the actual
Yeah,
seasons. The
yeah,
actual
no, not
seasons
the
are
actual.
pretty
The
darn
filler,
good.
the filler
There's some
seasons.
ups and downs, but
The filler seasons are entertaining. It's the fact that they take place in the middle of a battle, one of the biggest battles, and they're like filler season, and I'm like, that is the biggest blue ball moment you could ever give an anime fan. But whatever. Just that's my biggest piece is that I feel like there's not enough like just reaction in general from the Attack on Titan community towards these next two seasons that are anything but it's going to be fucking great. I can't wait for it to end. It's going to be magical. That's the only thing I'm hearing. And I personally am worried. You and I are both on the same boat of like we just want to watch this shit wrap up. Like we don't care what happens. It just needs to there needs to be some finality to it. Okay? We're in the final part of the final season's final parts 2.0 final. Like I want it to conclude because I need closure with this. So for me, I just want to know how it's going to end and I'm worried for every Attack on Titan fan out there that it's going to feel weird because there's 8 chapters left.
Not only for the fact that there's 8 chapters left and it's going to be weird. Everybody that's read the manga that like I talk to who won't spoil it for me because I tell them not to, they're like, yeah, this ending is also just a really fucking weird ending and it just kind of abruptly ends and does this or that and it's really controversial. It's like, then why are all these people in a tizzy that like are manga fans? Like, why are they in a tizzy when it's such a controversial ending that they know that this is just going to end fucking weirdly?
Yeah. And maybe that's the thing, right? Maybe the reactions of the manga readers when the final chapter was released came out and the anime fans took that and went, you know what? Let's just
It
pray
can't
to
be
the
that
Almighty.
bad.
Well,
It can't.
yeah.
That's more copium right there. It can't be
Attack
that
on Titan?
bad.
Attack on Titan bad? We don't even know how to spell the word bad, let alone know what that is because Attack on Titan is god tier. No, I think the hope from the community, the Attack on Titan community, and specifically the anime only fans like you and I too, is that the author is going to just create a separate ending for the anime. Honestly, if they're able to fit 2 full seasons of a show and only limit itself to the 8 chapters of source material that have been created, I will be shocked. Absolutely shocked. Like that is a feat in itself and I can applaud them for that. Like if you can do 24 episodes or however many they're going to do in 8 chapters, like bravo, kudos, round of applause for you. But it does worry me. It does worry me because we saw the pacing of season 4 part 2. They spent 3 episodes walking through the woods and camping and then having a fight. Just fist fight, not like Attack on Titan stuff.
It was quite literally longer than the pole that they used to poke the fucking Grinch before he stole Christmas.
39.5-foot pole?
Yeah, 39.5-foot pole. It was longer than that. It was fucking stupid.
It's a big pole.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no, they drew that thing out longer than just fucking anything you can think of. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
But I want to go back to just your Chainsaw Man topic and the overreaction there. And I think that to me, you and I, we both like the show. I think that I was whelmed by it. Like, I had built up a lot of hype around the show for myself personally. And then when I really thought back on it when it started, I was like, huh, really the meat and potatoes are really going to be in season 2. So I was pretty whelmed by, like, I got the amount of excitement as I put into it back out of it. So like the things that I was really looking forward to in the season, I thought they did very well. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
So I wasn't like overly impressed, but I wasn't overly unimpressed. I was just impressed. So like I really thoroughly enjoyed it. But to hear the criticisms from, Japan about it, I wonder if Fujimoto, I know he takes a lot of inspiration from Western films, and I think if he had any kind of say in the art direction behind it. I'm wondering if they just made it a little too Western, because it is kind of more Western than it is Japanese animated, other than like the
Yeah.
characters designs themselves. More so the backgrounds and everything else I feel like is really Western kind of. It's
Hmm.
a bit more realistic, and I don't know. I really think
And
that there is a little bit of legitimacy for concern. I think what'll happen, it'll definitely get a season 2, because everybody who's actually involved with the project knows that season 2 is going to be better than season 1. But my question is, do you think it'll stay with Mappa, or do you think it'll go to another studio? Because Mappa, I feel like and this is, somebody can correct me if they want to. I'm just pulling this shit out of my
oh,
ass.
they're going to.
Mappa shows really haven't been doing really well recently.
I I mean,
Like, have they? I feel like they've been just
so
kind of like they've been very impressive, but there's nothing like, other than maybe Vinland Saga. Like, there's really nothing that's really been released by Mappa that I'm like, yeah, you really need to go watch this.
well, again, we have to keep in mind the fact that in
I guess
most
Jujutsu Kaisen.
yeah. But again, in most situations, the animation studio does not dictate like the story of the show, because they have, directors and producers and sometimes the authors as well from the actual, serialization, that are the ones that are sort of driving the storyline and saying exactly how they want the manga to be adapted into an anime. And then the studios are just animating, right? They have more of the creative decision making on their end in terms of animation style and all of that, right? Because we always like to poke fun of Cloverworks and be like, Cloverworks had the worst 2021 and then
I
had
I
a
don't want to talk
huge.
about Cloverworks 2021, my dude.
But
I don't. It's
I
so
no, I
sad.
know. But I'm using it as an example, right? Like we always say, Cloverworks 2021 awful, 2022 good, and like yes, the shows that the anime that came out from Cloverworks in 2021 versus 2022, large disparity between them, like the massive gap in terms of quality, overall, you know, rating, everything about it. But I don't think we can blame the studios for that, because they're just the ones animating, right? So like now there's a couple examples of shows where you can be like, no, that show sucked and is the studio's fault. One being season 2 of The Devil is a Part-Timer, because by golly, the animation was shite. And then the second core of Comey was a little hit and miss at times with animation too. So that one's a little iffy too. But to your point about Mappa though, and like the shows coming out, I think that my biggest
Do you
concern
know
with
what
that.
they've released? So in the past year, do you want to know
That's
what
fine. I didn't
the
want to finish
median
my thought.
score?
That's
Sorry,
okay.
you finish your thought. Then.
They have too much on their plate. Go ahead. No, you're more important. Go ahead. Let me hear it.
What do you want? Take a guess as to what the
Everyone,
median
shh,
score.
quiet in the audience. Frank's
Yes,
talking.
yes,
All right,
yes.
go
Of
ahead.
course, thank you.
Go ahead.
What
Continue.
is the median score of all their shows from 2022?
Mappa,
Mm-hmm.
2022. So that's Attack on Titan.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That's Attack on Titan. Oh wait, I actually, this is a bit skewed. Never mind. I fucked up. I added Attack on Titan season 4 part 1 in there. So
that's 2020.
gotta redo that
Yeah.
one. Hold on. It's gonna bring it down even
2022
more.
was Dancer, uh, and Attack on Titan, and
Wait, this is
Jujutsu Kaisen was 2021, I think, right? Fall of 2021 was the second part of Jujutsu Kaisen.
yeah.
So then it's not just
Jujutsu Kaisen was in God, when was that? That
2021. Wasn't it fall
was
2021? Was part 2?
Yeah, you're right. Yep, because it started in
Why do you challenge me? Why do you
it's
never believe me? Why don't you put your trust and faith in me?
it started fall
How many
2021 and ended in winter 2022. No, it didn't.
Okay, so
I'm just dumb. It started fall 2020, spring 20 or winter 2021.
I was wrong too.
Yes, we were both wrong.
Okay. Well, I mean, I would appreciate if you just be honest and truthful with me. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Just tell me. You don't have to lead me on.
Did this come out in
What was your
2021?
question again? There's a MAPPA ratings in
what was the
2022.
what was the
I don't fucking
median?
know. The 8.7.
Nope, I fucked something there. I
Oh
don't
my
know.
god, are you doing actual like calculation math in Excel? What is going on? What's happening?
I have a calculator out and I fucked something up.
The calculator?
It was an
I don't trust
8.1425. They had Attack
8.142.
on Titan season 4 part
Okay.
2,
Dance
Chainsaw
Dance.
Man, Dance
Yep.
Dance Dance Sewer, and
Yep.
Kakaguri Twin.
They only had 4?
They only had 4 shows last year. If you don't include the Jujutsu Kaisen movie.
Well,
Came out in 2021.
Okay.
Talk Top Destiny 2021. They only had
Talked Up.
They only had 4 shows last year,
Well,
which compared to 2021,
I was
they
gonna
had
say
a shit ton.
yeah, 2021.
Holy hell.
Yeah, that was when all the memes came out about how MAPPA employees just have never seen their families.
Yeah.
Like they have families that they have never once met.
Yeah, they only had 4 shows last year. And they only have on their books 5 shows right now, which 2 of them are airing right now. Attack on Titan's coming up in April, and the other 2 are 2 shows that I'm personally looking forward to that I really hope they don't fuck up, which is Hell's Paradise and Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2.
So, again, to your earlier question on whether or not MAPPA will continue doing Chainsaw Man, I think they will. I think because of the style, I don't think there's a studio that can replicate it. It would be very hard. Now you have the instance of like Spy Family where it's Cloverworks and Wit doing
Which
it,
Wit
and you
don't
really
miss.
can't. They don't, and you really can't tell the difference. But I just in this case, Chainsaw Man did have quite the unique style. Truthfully, honestly, I know probably sound like big Chainsaw Man homers or whatever. I don't care, but it did have a very, very bespoke style that I don't think is easily replicable by other studios. I think it's very challenging from not just the CGI standpoint, but just like every single aspect of that show, how it's animated. There are scenes where they're just walking on the street, and every single person is so detailed. Like everything about them, extremely detailed. Their walks, animations, just the environment itself, cars passing by, like it's stupid small stuff that you just kind of bypass when you're watching anime normally. But in Chainsaw Man, it pops out just because of how astounding the animation quality is on it. So I don't think it's going to be easily for someone to just kind of, and I don't think a studio wants to. That's a lot of time and resources that would have to go into that show. And I think MAPPA's dumped way too much in it already to just go, you know what, we're going to give the rights to someone else.
But with the concerns of like how the fan base has reacted to season 1 and the Blu-ray sales in it, like it's not out of the realm of possibility.
It's not. But here to kind of go back to what I was saying and just do a big old butt on that.
Ooh.
I think what's going to come about from this is MAPPA's going to have to give up something else. At least one, possibly 2. I think that's the concern. Because people forget, too, like, Wit originally had Attack on Titan, right?
First 3 seasons. Then it went
and then
downhill.
MAPPA was like, no, we got that now, right? That was a big ask. Vinland Saga was...
Vinland Saga was MAPPA.
Not season 1.
Oh, you're right.
Season 1 was someone else. And then MAPPA picked it up. Hell's Paradise is going to be a huge one. Like, a huge... MAPPA picked that up. Like, they have way, way too many A-tier anime on their plate that are going to require a hell of a lot of dedication to appease the fan base, that they're gonna fuck up something. There's gonna be a slip up somewhere. They can't put out that many anime of that quality in in just a short period of time.
You want to take a guess as to who did Vinland season 1?
Was it Wit?
It was.
That's what I thought. I remember it being Wit.
Yep.
Wit's smart though. I mean, Wit knows when to drop something. Wit knows when to quit, and Wit knows when to go hard on things.
Wit only has 3 shows in the works right now.
Because they're a smaller studio. They know how to do it. They're able to manage 3. MAPPA with 5. Again, all really strong ones. Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, Vinland Saga, Hell's Paradise, right? Like, Those are massive, massive shows. Not to mention whenever Chainsaw Man season 2 comes out, which is probably going to be for like 2.5 years. So like, I worry more for the quality of anime that's going to come out from Mappa in terms of animation, not the stories. I have no doubt that Hell's Paradise, Vinland Saga, season 2 Jujutsu Kaisen, like those are going to be stellar anime just for the story alone. It's the quality. Because you watch season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen, you're like, oh my god, what's season 2 have in store? You watch
Yeah.
the first season of Vinland Saga, you're like, oh my god,
I
what
think
season 2 have in store? And that's Wit too. Now Mappa's taking it over. You're like, what can Mappa do with that?
I think
You
with
read Hell's
Jujutsu,
Paradise,
yeah.
I'm just saying, like, if you start something off at a certain level of quality, you best meet it or go above it, else you are going to piss off a hell of a lot of people.
So here's my one thing with the whole Jujutsu quality and why I'm not too concerned with its quality, or Jujutsu Kaisen and its quality. Season 1, they dumped, I feel like, a lot of resources into the fight scenes because they have a lot of fight scenes. But then when you go to like normal everyday scenes of just them talking and everything, you don't really need the quality to be that much because a lot of it is a comedy. It is a lot of comedy, and they make goofy faces and they make derpy faces that allows for the animation to just be goofy and not as crisp as a fight scene. So I feel like that it with Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm not too concerned about the quality because you do have the goofiness of the animation that can be goofy and it doesn't need to look perfect. You just need to dump your money really into the fight scenes.
I'm going to point out again, because it's an easy anime to pick on, season 2 of Devil is a Part Timer.
Oh boy.
There are only a handful of fight scenes, and somehow they fucked those up the most
Yeah.
out of anything else. Right? I don't think you can use that. I mean, granted, I agree with you. I season 1, when there's fight scenes, they're the most beautiful things to watch, just in terms of the choreography, the animation quality, like everything about it is stellar. And then the scenes of talking and stuff, yeah, the animation style changes because sometimes it's goofy, sometimes it's serious, whatever it might be. It's less demanding. I get that, I understand that. But you could also use a show like Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, right? Where the animation always looks really, really nice and crisp and clean and really pretty to look at. And then you watch a fight scene and you shit your pants because you're like, this is a slice of life? What is going on? This is S tier in terms of fight scenes, and it's a fucking Dragon Maid show. What the fuck is happening? Right? I want that out of my shows. Like,
Yeah.
that I want that. I don't want to Mappa to go, okay, boys and girls, and half of you are probably dead, so we apologize, deceased, R.I.P. Let's focus highly on the fights. Everyone loves fights. We need fights. Fights. Rest of the stuff, just wing it, okay? Half-ass it. We need to get by. All right, you haven't seen your families in 2.5 years, okay? We had to keep reshackling you because you keep losing your limbs for some reason. Just get by. Just make it palatable. Can't talk right now. Yeah, I don't want that to happen. That is worst case scenario, and I feel like, again, personal opinion, personal sentiment. You can disagree however you like. I feel like Mappa is trending that way because of the amount of high tier, high hype, however you want to categorize them, type of anime they have on their plate. It's going to be a lot for them to handle in a short period of time, too. If you said they had Chainsaw Man, Attack on Titan, Vinland, Hell's Paradise, and Jujutsu Kaisen, but they spread them out over 5 to 6 years, so like one of those anime every year, I'd be like, okay, manageable, right? Then you can take maybe a smaller anime or two on to fill in some gaps here and there each year, right? So you got like 2 to 3 anime a year. It's pretty good, okay? Because you can dedicate more time to it. But you've got fucking Attack on Titan coming out, followed by, right after Vinland and Hell's Paradise, followed by Jujutsu Kaisen, like creeping up their ass too. That is
Well, not to mention they're working right now. They're currently releasing Vinland Saga season 2, and
Yeah.
don't fucking forget Campfire Cooking in Another World with my absurd skill.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not dissing the animation. I think it looks good. It's more, your anime chibi ish. More cartoony is what I mean. It's more cartoony
I'm
style.
just saying they still have to sink resources
No,
into
I
that.
know. I know. And that just kind of fuels my point to I think Mappa is going to have to start slowly giving away some of these licensing rights to other studios. I don't think they can handle it in a manner in which everyone's going to be pleased. I think they're gonna have to go, hey, you know what? On the chopping block, we got Hell's Paradise. It's a new one. We're just gonna squeak it out. Or maybe they just go, Jujutsu Kaisen season 2. Your fights are gonna be beautiful again. The rest of it, it's gonna be manageable. We'll say it's gonna be manageable. I just don't want that.
Yeah, yeah, because after Jujutsu Kaisen, they don't have anything on the books.
Good.
That's been announced. So
I think
Jujutsu
the
Kaisen
workers.
comes out in summer.
I
So
think the
we'll see.
workers have about 2 years of banked holidays by this point. So
Yeah, but again, back to Chainsaw Man. I thoroughly enjoyed season 1. I was hyped for it, and I got that hype out of it. I'm really forward to looking to season 2, which I did look up, and it has not been confirmed yet. I would be thoroughly shocked if it didn't get confirmed somewhere, like in
yeah,
the next like few months. But I think Mappa, if they are going to do season 2, which they more than likely will, there concern that they might not. Sure, you can make it with the amount of feedback they've gotten from the people in Japan. That's fine. I think Mappa will handle season 2 overall. I don't think that it'll come out for another year and a half.
yeah, if that.
No, well, I mean, they sunk about a year's worth of it before, of work into it before they actually released episode 1. Like, I remember back in 2021, they announced, like, hey, it's getting an anime and it's done by Mappa. And people were like, hell yeah. And it's like, when are we getting it? And we didn't get any news for it until fucking summer of last year.
Yeah.
Like, it was a whole freaking half a year before we got any news as to when it was coming out.
And then it turned into, where's the fucking beach scene?
Where are my grippers?
Show me the grippers.
Yeah, but I think that Mappa will do it. I don't know. We'll just have to find out whether or not people are whelmed or, overreact or just underreact to that one. I do think that the reactions to Chainsaw Man season 1 in Japan, like you telling me all of that, I think it's a bit ridiculous. I think it's silly, but
Yeah.
I mean, we watch the same shows. However, they perceive it differently than people in the United States would or anywhere else in the world would. So, I mean, and shows are, I mean, to my knowledge, like studios still make shows for people in Japan first and then everywhere else after. So they may listen to some of the criticisms and take it down a notch and maybe be able to release it a bit faster than they did season 1. We'll find out. But I think that, I mean, this is just another argument of time will tell how season 2 will end up. I think that the overreactions are a bit much. I think the underreactions for season 4, part 2 of final remixed redux bullshit of Attack on Titan is astounding. Like, there's some fucking copium going on in there, right? Like,
Yeah, and it's creeping up. It's creeping up. First
God.
episode comes out in less than a month.
How much do you want to think, like, people, like, they're gonna have like a fight scene and people are gonna be like, ah, this is a peak, and then it's gonna end and people are like, this show is dog water all the time.
This is final thought. I promise we're not going to go deep into this, but as a non-manga reader, I'm going to give a really crazy theory on what's going to happen in the first episode. Ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Flashback.
Oh, fuck off.
I think it's going to be a flashback. There's, again, if you go based on each season, it never starts in the same fucking spot. It's going to be a flashback. I would honestly, I would put money on that. It's going to be a flashback. So fucking get your diapers on, people, because I know you're going to be pissing and shitting out of anger and frustration or whatever. Or maybe hype. Maybe that's what you like, you weirdos. But yeah, just know it's coming out soon. So everyone get ready.
We're gonna
Not
have
gonna
a
hear
lot
the
of
end of it.
Attack on Titan's about to go One Piece, and they're just gonna go on a sailing adventure for a little bit.
Yeah, the author's gonna come out and be like, "Oh, this is just the prequel, the prelude, the prelude." God, words are hard to
You are
everything. I have a
struggling
whole
today.
other I have a whole other series coming out, and it's got 500 chapters, and then that's when Attack on Titan fans just start like their heads explode. They're like, "Whoa, yeah, no flashback." I'm calling it already.
Yeah,
So
well, only time will tell. Thank you for joining us this week. I know we said that these are going to be a little quicker episodes. This one definitely was not a quicker episode. But, we greatly appreciate it. If there's a topic that you want us to discuss, please let us know. You can find us on social media at Baka&Co Podcast. So until next time, Spark Triumph. We'll see you then.